Hey ho out there, YouTubers. Kind of a sad thing happened this, actually a really sad thing happened this morning. This is the 26th of March 2024. With the bridge here in Baltimore, Maryland, and it is the Francis Scott Key Bridge here. It actually collapsed this morning. I had shot out a short upon the information I had at the time. They said that there was over 20 people missing, but now after the search and rescue and fire department and everything, they're still working on this as we speak. But I guess that it's only so far, like around 7 or so, that they've pulled 2 people out of the water. One of them refused any kind of treatment or anything, said they was fine. So thank you, Lord, for that. Another person was really critically injured or whatever, and of course is in the hospital. So there's 7 people, I guess, that didn't make it, and they're still looking for more. There's sonar and stuff. They said that they can tell that there's cars and stuff by their sonar that's, obviously down in underneath the water here. If you haven't seen it, we're going to kind of just give you a quick view here, whatever. Here's the fire department chief here, but we'll watch this real fast just in case you haven't. But if you look right here on this pillar of the bridge here, the ship had lost power when it left back here on the other side of the bridge here. There's a big mass opening back there before you get to, but this is actually their berth here for the ships and stuff to load and unload the dock here. And apparently this here ship had just finished and was leaving, and as it was turning, it lost power. The ship completely goes black, and then just shortly before it winds up hitting this pillar of the bridge, you can see lights and stuff come on the ship, indicating that they got power back on. And you can also see a bunch of black smoke that actually comes from the ship, meaning that the motor of the ship was obviously, they said that it was having problems. It probably, obviously, something was wrong. But there's no doubt, if you're going to be that captain of that ship, that as soon as you got it back on, you would demand, full reverse, or those engines was probably wide open to try to prevent this. But upon doing everything that they did, the ship winds up going squirrely and hitting this here. So, but our prayers go out for all those that was on this bridge and stuff, because if you watch the video, you can see where there were trucks going across and cars and everything. But this was a catastrophic failure of this bridge just because it was hit right here. So let's watch that real quick.
However, was seriously injured and is at an area trauma center. We don't know yet if they're part of that 7. The patient is injured severely enough that we've not been able to debrief that patient.
Okay, so yeah, as you heard, he just said that the patient was injured severely enough that they can't even talk to the one that's in the hospital, But if we look here, you can also see the bridge actually laying on the ship here as they fly over it.
Back in, that adds a bit of a challenge to us.
Right
also.
here, these are
You can
containers
certainly
on the ship. This is the actual bridge that's laying. This is on the front of the ship, and this is the helicopter here that's shining the light on there.
But also remember,
so it was early this morning when this happened.
It's quite possible that we may have somebody there that we've not seen yet.
1:52 a.m. Oh, was it that early? I was unaware.
They'll obviously make those determinations.
Good job, Amy.
But we're going to rely on the experts, which are our dive masters that are here, our dive team, to tell us when they believe we've reached that non-survivability point. Yes, sir.
So, he goes on to say that there's 7 that's missing and 2 that they pulled out of the water. And as we've already said, that the ones injured so bad they can't really. But anyway, our hearts and our prayers definitely are going out to all those people that was on the bridge, the ones that's missing, the ones that survived. All of them. Even the crew member and stuff. Where did they say that ship was from? Singapore. So the ship is from Singapore, and it's a Singapore company that owns that ship and that hit this bridge and stuff. So we'll see. Hopefully there's nothing nefarious going on there. We'll pray, because that bridge being taken out like that, you can't just throw a bridge up overnight, especially, how our government is, It's really not our government, is it? It's self-ran by its own self. It belongs to itself. It obviously thinks that it doesn't have to do what we have to do. So if something's not operating or doing what it is it's supposed to do, you no longer need it, right? So anyway, speaking of that, it's a great segue. Let's switch this up. I promised our buddy, the answer machine, Charles, there, that I would call back today at 12, and we give him a couple minutes there to leeway, but we're going to go ahead and make that call right now and see if we can get at least the answering machine that we pay for on the line there. It really is sad whenever something like this happens that we can't just simply think.
Capital, have you direct your call?
Yeah, Brad Winstrip, Ohio, please.
Yes, one moment for transfer.
Thank you very much. They're always so nice when you call the switchboard here. I encourage all of you, and if you haven't yet, please do it. Jump in there. All you have to do.
Winstrip's office.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you, Mr. President?
So far, so good. You want to shout out to the rest of the people listening?
Hello, everyone. I'm not sure how many people there are.
Well, so far we're doing really good. We're gaining onwards and upwards. I'm sure you're there at your computer. You can pull that up and see that we are gaining subscribers every single day. Appreciate it, each and every one of you's out there. Thank you so much. Thank you for the ones that's the loyal subscribers and giving me the information and watching. And Charles, we was just discussing before we made the call. Our hearts is going out with those in Baltimore, Maryland this morning.
Oh yeah, I saw that this morning. It was terrible.
Yeah, that happened about 1:30.
1:52 a.m.
Almost about 2 o'clock this morning.
Oh wow.
And at first, the report that I got, there was over 20 missing, but now the last report that we just was watching and stuff, it says that there's 7 missing, or no, 7 that didn't make it, and there's 2 that they pulled out of the water. 1 refused any kind of help or anything, said they was perfectly fine, and the other one's critically injured and in the hospital to the point where they can't even obtain information from them as of yet. So we're praying that they're okay, and all the ones that's missing, they know that there's cars and stuff underneath the water that the sonar had picked up, and they're making dives and stuff now as we speak, trying to get them out of there. So.
Yeah. Did you see the report that the ship was able to send out a mayday and was able to kind of get traffic to kind of hold up a little bit?
You know what? Very good, Charles. I appreciate you saying that too, because if you watch the footage, you can actually see where the I'm going to actually, while I'm talking to you here, I'm going to wind this and see if I can get to the bridge so I can show. Oh, right there, he was saying about the one that just was refused. I'm going to freeze it there so we can see the bridge. Charles is talking and referring to the bridge here, because you can watch the traffic literally going across this as the ship is getting ready to hit the pylon here. And thank goodness that the Mayday did go out and stuff, and they was able to actually, and you can watch, like all of a sudden the cars and stuff stopped coming from both directions, you know. So the ship lost its power and then got it back just moments before actually impact occurred. So you know, no doubt they was trying to do everything that they could. They probably throwed out the anchors and everything else, but and you can watch literally the front corner of the vessel has impact with the pylon, the structure here, and it's just unbelievable to me that the whole bridge has to collapse. But there, as Amy pointed out, thank you for coming, by the way, Amy. Appreciate that very much. It hits over here, and the whole bridge, all the way across, being a suspension bridge, collapses. You know, which is a real shame, because as you can see here, and I'm pointing, Charles, so forgive me here, but you can see literally, I believe these are emergency workers all the way back here, even though the impact happens here. But we'll just let it play through here, and you can watch the whole bridge. Not only does it fail here, but it goes all the way across. I mean, as far over here as you can see, and it's just it's sad and tragic and unbelievable. But watch here, the whole structure falls right here. Now watch this side over here, and right there where the emergency people were sitting. You know, I don't understand why somebody did not say, do not be on the bridge at all. You know, why did they not park and block it off back there? And then, but anyway,
They might try to be getting cars to turn around.
say it louder
They
so
were
we can hear you.
trying to get the cars on the bridge to turn around and get room to get off, because it looks like in other TV things that they were trying to get the cars to get off the bridge.
Other videos.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they was trying to turn around, because you can watch all of them. They get off. The only ones really that was sitting there, and if you we'll back it up just a little bit, and you can see right here, these are emergency vehicles right here, because they have their flashers on. We'll back it up just a little bit. See them twinkling there?
Mm-hmm.
These are emergency. And but anyway, so our hearts and prayers are going out to all of those that's dealing with that. You know what? We're even dealing with that. So please, Lord, keep them in your hands. Lord, be with them. Charles, give us the information that we need.
So I did as you asked. I gave it to him. I have not gotten everything back. I know in terms of the whole appropriations bills, he's working on getting you an answer as quickly as possible. But I was also directed to point out just some other context. I know that a more full response is coming, but I can at least share, this much. When it comes to a lot of the financial questions, the congressman does comply with all the congressional ethics rules, including financial disclosures, and his salary is public information, so a lot of that is required to be reported already. I'm trying to remember which part of the website. Sorry, I'm trying to see.
No apologies, man. You're doing good. I appreciate it.
Yep.
All of us appreciate you. Like I said, you're a big topic of conversation there when we get to our answering machines,
Is that a good thing?
No, it's a very good thing, because what we the people are seeing, that just like right now, your attitude, towards this could be abrasive, non-caring, which would absolutely back up what we already know about the government that has not just, they haven't turned away from us, they've turned against us.
Yeah, so sorry, I was finding it. So yeah, there's a disclosure form on the clerk's website. I can spell that out if you would like. Where a lot of that is, there's actually two websites. Sorry, I have to make sure I get both of them up in case you want me to tell you exactly where it is.
Okay, and what are these websites telling me and us?
So there's actually see, if you were ever interested, how
We're
often you
interested.
spend your dollars.
Yes, yes. Oh, believe me, we're very interested. I mean, because here's what they've done. They have spent money to the point where every one of us knows there's no way on God's wonderful planet here that we, living, talking, breathing right now, would ever be able to pay this back. There's no way. I mean, you're talking a number that, as much as we would try, there's nobody that can imagine the number of that national debt. I mean, there's no way. You can't. I mean, what was it? How was it we tried to do that? Like, how long did it take somebody, if you was to start off just trying to count to 1 million, how many years or how long was it that it would take you?
It was in the hundreds of years.
It was a stupid amount of time, and that's just for 1 million.
Well, I know in like 1992 we figured it up, and it was like $200,000 per person in the United States that would pay off the national debt, and that was like in 1992.
Yeah.
So
So,
it is.
oh, it's
since
buried.
then.
It's buried that again, especially after these turncoat treasonous bastards just did what they did by signing the $1.2 trillion. And you know what? Here's the lovely thing about this is what everybody's telling me, or pointed out to me. And this is just till August, I think. Is it August? Do you have that information, Charles? How long? This only takes us till it's not even to the end of the year.
Yeah, it's the end of the fiscal year, which, so for some reason, way back, probably a couple of decades ago, instead of having our fiscal year start with January 1st and go to December 31st, like our calendar, you know how you and I live, right? They decided to offset it so that the fiscal year starts October 1st and ends September 31st. So this funding package covers pretty much from last October 1st through September 31st, where we will then have to, negotiate and try to pass again, right, this whole process of funding the government. So, you know how we were working under CRs before? Continuing resolutions, just extending what was happening previously
Right.
with no changes.
Right.
This bill essentially kind of backtracks and forward looks, saying, okay, for the entire fiscal year, this is how much you get for a department, right, for an agency. And then it kind of adjusts based on how much they've spent, how much more they get, right, along with new directives like you can't spend it on this, or, you're required to spend it on that. So, UNRWA, the UN World Refugee Agency, something like that, there's a prohibition for 1 year that no federal dollars, no tax dollars from you, the American people, can go towards that agency because of their connections with, funding Hamas and a lot of their employees' connections to participation in acts of terrorism, specifically on October 7th, right? So yeah, that's kind of how that works. So it kind of covers that whole 66-day period since we had that leap year day in February. But yeah, by October 1st, Speaker Johnson in the House will have to come up with, new appropriations bills for the next year, and I unfortunately am unaware of at this time of what that will look like. Obviously there are a lot of problems with this past bill that a lot of members were aware of, and as you've pointed out to me, for me to pass to the congressman. So there will be a lot of questions asked about where we go moving forward in 6 months when all of this starts again.
So we're covered by the 1.2 trillion to the end of the year, but we have to start worrying in October about the next go round.
Well, ideally, we are more efficient and we don't wait to the last moment. So we would start talking about it like now, right, to October. The idea is, what was supposed to happen and what is supposed to happen under the, how Congress is supposed to work is we spend, January through September 31st, right, working on next year's bill, right? So when the new Congress sworn with the Republican majority, we were already being funded for that portion of the year, right? Because our first set of bills we would take up would be for the October 1st deadline. Unfortunately, as you know, we had to go under CRs. The House passed a couple bills, but the Senate didn't do anything for the along.
Continuous resolutions.
And all of that, you were probably following it just as closely as I. But, that does mean now that we've funded, we have to essentially repeat the process. So hopefully we won't be stuck waiting to the last minute to do things. At least that's always, the goal. I know under, then Speaker Pelosi, they always waited till Christmas to pass these things in one giant bill, and I don't think anybody likes that because, as you point out, giant bills, you never know what's fully in them since it's 3,000-ish pages long. So, the idea is trying to break that bad habit by going back towards, individual appropriation bills. I've seen ideas thrown around that maybe, 4 to 5 bills, right, break them into smaller packages as kind of like baby steps to getting us back to regular order. Obviously, I'm not a member. I'm not in leadership. I have no control. This is just kind of what I've seen and heard. But I think the idea is trying to push us away from those one big packages. So like this year we had 2, March 6th and March 22nd. And then, ideally we're hoping for a better improvement next year or this year for FY25.
Yeah, that's if we get to next year. That is, but before something just like this ship hitting this bridge here, something's got to give.
Yeah. Hope
You
that
know-
makes sense. I'm talking about it and I'm getting a little confused because it's not straightforward as you would hope with like the calendar year and just getting it done, but that is generally how things are looking for this upcoming year.
Well, see, like what you're saying, it's not straightforward. Well, we know that we're dealing with the government here, so there's, I mean, that's easily to see what's going on. I mean, anytime that you're dealing with the government, you're never ever going to get anything straight. Like, I just called and I asked for. Well, I didn't ask, but we're demanding. We want a report, a full inquiry into, what kind of money is Brad Winstrip having here? Where's he get it from? Who's he related to? Who's he hanging out with? So on and so forth. We need to know this about everybody that's in government. We have stuff going on right now. Like I said, it's kind of. Strange things going on right here. The bridge is collapsing. We the people. In a normal situation, or not a normal, but if we was in a place where we felt secured and stuff, we'd say, okay, well, there was an accident happened. The ship just lost its power and it hit a bridge. But now we're wondering, is that all that's in play here? That's awful funny. It lost power and stuff, but then it had power at the last second and everything. Was this a bridge that was, targeted? Is this some kind of, look what's happening in Moscow right now? That it's awfully funny that everything that happens, we always blame Russia for, But yet clearly we know how China has already, they're so massively up our ass, it's not even funny. It's not even funny. Here, let's point out the other thing right now that's going on. Anybody ever heard of Sean Diddy, P. Diddy, Combs, or whatever this dude's name is? For years they'd been saying he's involved with the unalive of Biggie, or what's his name?
Biggie Smalls.
Biggie Smalls, okay. And then there was accusations flying that that he was one of those weirdo dudes, with the Alphabet Clan out there, that none of us can stand. And here's the thing: if you've got adults and they go behind or whatever, they do whatever they want to. I don't know about it. There ain't nothing I can do about it, and I don't care about it. And that's the way that all of us here on this channel feels about that. But when they start talking about, and then they're right out in the openly with the, what's Joshua Bieber? What's his name?
Justin Bieber.
Yeah, old Justin Bieber there. Bieber. Or whatever. Boy was 15 years old and walks out of this big, beautiful mansion. See, all this stuff, they was hiding back in the day because they knew that we all belong to the Lord and that we should. and we all was one nation under God, and they was the ones that wanted to stay invisible back in the day. But when you have on tape of a grown, I'm not going to call him a man, but a grown adult handing the keys over to how much was that car that he was showing Beeper back then? I mean, it was a big old fancy high dollar sports car, and he's handing him the keys for his 16th birthday. And then he goes on to say, because they're at a big fancy mansion, and this is the titty guy, Diddy, or whatever his name is, he said to the Beeper, which is 15, said, yeah, and you'll get this mansion too when you turn 18. So the car at 16 and the mansion at 18. That kind of stuff is so blatantly obvious what's going on. They are buying these children. But see, this was a special children because this children was influencing millions of other children's. They wanted to be like that. So they was watching that and they wanted to be like that. And now, why don't you guys go check out Justin Bieber right now? Bieber, B-I-B-B-E-R. Is that how you spell that? How you spell Bieber?
B-E-I-B-E-R.
Thank you, no. So welcome to the wonderful language of English, everybody. Which also, coincidentally, let's get back to that. Who is it that is up our hind end here in the United States? And I apologize, but I'm going to tell you something. No, I'm going to take back that. I don't want to talk foul or whatever on here, but I'm just telling you, when I think about what the Chinese have done, if you haven't seen John Stamos, what's his name? Stamos? No, not Stamos. John Cena. We did a video. Cena? John Cena? Have you seen that, Charles?
When he apologized for making negative comments about the Chinese communists?
Yes.
Oh, look how informed you are. Man, this is the best answer machine, I'm telling you right now. Yes, when he apologized because he called Taiwan what it actually was. Heaven forbid any of us in the United States, let alone the world, would call something actually like what it is. Like only two genders, male and female. God's number one, first and foremost. All Democrats are really undercover demons that really needs to be. So when you point out something that's just straight up, see, that's confusing to a lot of people because they don't understand somebody that can just talk straight. And you know what? I'd talk a hell of a lot straighter on here if it wasn't for the censorship of YouBoob on here. But yeah, anytime that you're just trying to put something out there straight up or whatever, people will. And I'm not, you know what? Let me take it back. It's not the people that confuses or corrupts. It's the evil demons that want to do stuff. Because I'm here to tell you right now, how could anybody look at a child and think anything other than you need to take care of them, protect them, or how well that somebody else is taking care of them or something. Now, when you're looking at Bieber, which is, I'll finish my thought on that, but go look him up now. You know what? The Lord sent him a Christianly partner, and she goes to church, and she got him, and really has so far so good. We're praying for all of them, not just them or whatever, not because they're famous or anything, but they do influence a lot of people and stuff. But have you noticed how old Beeper there kind of dropped off? They're not really covering him as much anymore. It's because he chose the Lord up above. And you know what? He chose to save his soul, and this life on earth, it's such a shame that they're trying to tell people, this is the thing, take care of yourself here, eat bananas and don't eat that, or eat all meat, or whatever it is, take care of your body. For what? For 2 seconds? Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, take care of your body because it's a temple. But, You see what I mean? The thing you should be really taking care of is when we go to heaven. So I encourage everybody to find the Lord. Absolutely, He's looking for you. Hey, but back to this. When we're looking at China, they have taken over Hollywood. Okay? When they made old John Cena apologize for calling Taiwan a country, I mean, he just kissed their hind end. You can go look up the video. We did a video about it. He did it in their language, you know. And I mean, he said, I'm very, 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 very sorry that I called Taiwan a country. And boy, you can go watch it. And look, he meant it, buddy. He was sorry. Because here's what they did. Looper was the first movie that China really got involved with. Now, why did they start getting involved? The people that makes these movies, they want to spend the maximum amount of money that they can to make their movie so grandiose, right? Okay, so they put hundreds of millions of dollars sometimes into a movie. The only way that they can turn a profit is by being able to get the Chinese audience involved with that. So it means, okay, it takes all the millions that they can get from here, the UK, and around the world and stuff, but then they got to have China, because of all the people and the population that they have right there, before they can even make their profit. So Looper comes along, and they talked to the Chinese, and they said, well, how can we get our movies to be seen? Because over in China, they won't let their people just see whatever they want to. You know, it all goes through the CCP first. So it's all controlled programming. Just like their TikTok over there is not really TikTok like what you see here. When you go over there, their TikTok says, hey, you worship Xi Jinping as your God. You also, all they do is they show how to be a good citizen. You're only allowed to, watch certain things. But you don't desecrate their flag over there. No, no, no. If you're one of those little pink-haired, the alphabet weirdos or whatever out there, you get unalive real quick. Look it up. This ain't me saying it. I'm don't shoot the messenger. So Looper, they talked to China and they said, okay, well, here's 20 million or 30 million, whatever it was. So they actually put in a little scene in that movie Looper. What it was in Looper, it talks about going to the past, and then it talks about the present, and then it talks about the future, time travel. That's not allowed. See, this crazy crap like that in China, not allowed. They don't want to mislead their people like that. I mean, they do when it comes to the Lord. They want them to worship a guy that's obviously going to grow old and die. So clearly not a God. But they changed it in Looper to where in the future, in the movie, that the place to be was going to be China. So they actually rolled with that the first time. So they got their movie over there. And so they made like 20 million or whatever, or they paid 20 million or however that worked. So they made a big profit off of Looper. Okay, now the next movie that come along, they said, well, hey, we liked what you did in that movie, which was that Iron Man, I think. Oh no, yeah, it was Marvel that come along and said, hey, we've got trouble trying to get our movies into the China market. What do we have to do? And there was 200 million or 20 or what was it, 200 million, I think 200 million was tossed at that movie. And that was so that all of a sudden the hero of the movie, Iron Man, gets saved by the Chinese character who they created because of this $200 million that was given to them to get their movie put into China circulation. They created a doctor who saved the hero, which was Iron Man in the movie. And this is, so since then, they have been pouring it on. So now all the Hollywood people, the writers, producers, all that, they pander to China. So China owns Hollywood because there's no movies that's being made that goes anywhere unless it gets into China. You know, they're not turning no major profits or whatever, supposedly. So we need to fix that. But this is how China's here. And here's something that absolutely infuriates me. And we want this here to go directly to Dr. Kevorkian there, Brad Wenstrup. Tell him that we need him to look into this Hollywood stuff, unless he's already just, I don't know, maybe he's looking at like reservations he's made for the end of the year where he's retiring with his family too or something, you know. But what about China owning all of our farmland right here? You know, we're getting poisoned. We're getting poisoned. Did you see my video, Charles, of where I show the difference in the oatmeal that comes from the UK and the ones that we buy right here?
I remember seeing you one in the grocery store with a Twinkie at one point.
I used to love Twinkies.
But the oatmeal one, how long ago was it? I don't know if I saw that one, because I kind of...
I don't eat them anymore. I don't eat
Twinkies. The same after the original business went bankrupt.
I know, right? Absolutely, I agree. Well, what that was is that was a takeover so that they could change the recipe and put more poison into them. If you look at Quaker Oats, the same Quaker Oats, you can look at it. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. The ingredients, the one that the UK buys, have 5 ingredients, and that's including natural flavors of the fruit and the oats. Okay, but if you look at the one that they sell to us, it's 26, isn't it? 26 different ingredients. And when you're talking about ingredients, the ingredients, most of it is poisons that they put in there, the names that you can't name and stuff. But I so want to iterate here. Why does China own 1 inch of our land? This is, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. That is insane as what we know that they're doing now. They put these people here that are, the invaders are attacking our peace officers. There's people that can't even go to sleep at night or whatever because they're outside of their doors and breaking in on them and stuff. And they already unalived how many people out here? You know, what was the name of the girl that they unalived or whatever, they attacked or whatever? And you know what? I think of it every time that I get off of here. Every time. And I don't know why I can't think of her name right now. It's the one that they tried to get the Crypt Keeper, or Marjorie Taylor Greene. She kept saying, say her name, say her name.
Lincoln.
Yeah, thank you. Good job, Charles. Look at you. Showing off your youth here now.
It took me a second because unfortunately there have been so many of them.
Yeah, look. Here's the thing. I want to, you know, we all are really wanting Brad to stay in the game and to actually start doing stuff. It's overwhelming right now. But if he needs help, why don't he tell me? Let me in there. Let me in there. Because we're coming. We're all coming. I'm telling you right now. Right now, he can do some stuff or whatever right now. But, you know, after a while, just like over there in the UK and different places, France and all of them, look what they did. They got their tractors and their manure and stuff, and you and I have discussed this before, if you remember, that, you know, they just unloaded manure and stuff right on the steps of their courthouses and everything else, which they owned. There was nothing wrong with that. And you know what? I'm so here to tell you that the whole narrative to the whole what do they call it? I got to watch how I say it here. The thing that Nancy Pelosi was barking about, that Trump had supposedly started a incorrection, yes, I said that word like I did for code talk here or whatever, but everybody's really missing the whole thing here. Nobody was going into any building because they was out to hurt anybody. This is a message from we the people. Why do you think we went in there? Why do you think we went in there? And incidentally, I would have been there. But I was told by a very, very close person who I respect very much here on planet Earth, because I was getting ready to go, and he told me not to go. And seeing how he had went through some wars and stuff like that, fighting for this country, I, at the last moment, decided not to. Or I would have been in it. And I'm here to tell you right now. But so I'm here to tell you, the whole thing is massively wrong. What they're not saying is the obvious truth, is why we the people went in there. Did they go in and light it on fire and stuff? No. That was all set up. We already know that. But why would we even want in that building anyway? We're just sending a message to, we will take it back. We have a Second Amendment. It's not going to be put in to the works. It's already in the works. It's already there. We can use it anytime that we want. And why do we have the Second Amendment? Most importantly, man, you really, really want to check out why that we have the Second Amendment. If you're not aware of that, go and read it. It says it's not only our right to do that, but it's our duty to do. The Second Amendment, what we're talking about here. And the only thing that they was doing was implying the Second Amendment, which I'm telling you right now is a real thing that everybody out here is discussing right now. And you know what? Here's the thing. I know that they already know this. China has an army of people. Listen to what I'm telling you. An army of people. And we're talking 1 million people strong that are doing nothing except for cyber, whatever they do, sabotage, cyber, looking into what you and I are doing. And so many of us out here already know this. Think about this. Why are they taking down old P. Diddy right now? Okay, that's like a major player into their little corruption thing or whatever. Okay, I'll guarantee you China is involved with all this sick stuff because they're in with Hollywood. And what does everybody know about Hollywood? We know that they're sick people. Okay, their statue is to a god. When you go to the Oscars, look at that Oscar, which is the name of that god is no, say it.
Ptah.
Yeah, Ptah. Thanks, no. Ptah. Now, he is the god of changing, like an actor has to do. Like change into the character that they become and stuff. No, you're shaking your head no.
It was art and craftsmanship.
Art and craftsmanship. Yes, I know, but if you think, if anyway, I'll get you more information on that. But if you go look it up, he's the god of changing, to become something else. So, but I'll get that information because Noam's kind of doubting me on this one here, which is kind of weird. But we'll see that we'll check this out later or something. No, you don't disagree with me? I seen it, and I'll get that information. But anyway, we agree that he's the god of art and craftsmanship. That's why they get the thing. But do you think that Ptah is any good? Absolutely not.
It's a false god.
That's right, false god. That's right. So China is in with Hollywood. So if they're in with Hollyweird, we know that they have a big influence on our government that's supposed to be our government that we're not claiming anymore. And I don't know if the government can understand this or not, but imagine being a child that gets disowned. Okay? Only people that disown a child, there's something pretty evil there, one way or the other. One way or the other, there's something really evil there. So we're disowning our government. We don't trust it. We don't love it. We don't like it. We don't respect it. So something really bad always comes, to something that's disowned. And we're praying to our Lord that we can figure out how to fix this, because what the government doesn't seem to understand is we don't want to do that. We want to have good lives, and we want to do things the right way, just like with the border and stuff. Let the people come in. We know it's called the melting pot. We have no problems with that. But they wanted to create such a narrative and stuff. And you have these people that are so willing to jump on the wagon with the racist card, it's not even funny. Now, our answer machine and our buddy Charles here was pointing out earlier that, there was monies allotted for certain things. But if your name is Letitia James, as she said, and you can go watch it or whatever, but she said, well, we was voted in by the people, so we can do whatever we want to with this money. And the woman that was working said, no, it's allotted for this. And again, she was like, well, the people chose us to do whatever we wanted to, and so we're going to use it for this. You see what I mean? There's your corruption and stuff. This is what we know of the government. It's like we elect these people to do certain things a certain way, and there's already laws, rules, and regulations set up, established, so that it keeps them, on the straight and narrow, so that we can benefit from that. All of us, including themselves. But they always get greedy. And they want to fly their girlfriends or their boyfriends around the world and have a good time on your and I dime, So, the whole system is corrupt. But we got to get China out of here. And that's really, really what I want to iterate right now is we would really, really like to see Brad understand that he's overwhelmed right now, but I'm here. And how come that he doesn't make 5 minutes or something like that to pick up the phone and talk to me, which brings me to another thing I wanted to remind you of, Charles. There was supposed to have been a form that come to me so that I could set up a meeting or something. I haven't seen no form in no kind of email, Gmail, or anything else.
Yeah, so I sent one. I got a weird bounce back, and I was actually meaning to bring it up with you. You didn't mention it before, so maybe it went through, but I got this weird bounce back saying your inbox is full. Do you have a lot of emails? Is there maybe a better one? If not, I can send a physical letter.
Hold on.
I thought maybe it was just a mistake on my end.
Give me just a second. We're going to take a quick break here so I can clarify the email stuff. Be right back. Hey, Charles, listen. Thank you so much for sending me another one. We'll look into that or whatever. I would so love and look forward to meeting Brad Winstrup or anybody. Oh, actually, I seen an awful lovely picture of you and a young lady. You guys make a very awesome couple there. I hope everything's going good for you.
On
Facebook.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I wasn't sure. I'm like, where? Yes, that is my girlfriend of 5 years.
I didn't pull it up. I haven't showed that or anything because I won't do you like that or whatever. But awesome looking couple. We're actually we're praying for you and everything. Do you have a date set up to make that young lady a Mrs.?
Not quite yet. It's on the horizon though.
Yeah, well, you better get it done, son. I'm telling you, the way this is, I don't know if you've seen or not, but you got the women and stuff of the world that's actual females are they're going to Home Depot and everything else bright and early in the morning just to find men. There ain't many of them out there. They're out there. You gotta look for them. The real men are sick and tired of the stupid stuff that's going on, because if you go up to a person and say something to them, they're offended if you just say hello the wrong way. So, but anyway, listen, we're going to get off here right now. I know there's some more stuff, but if you could get us some information from Brad there, but I need for you to pour it on him about, you write it again and again and again. Why is China here? What is going on with Hollyweird? And also, we know that there are Chinese labs still working in the United States right now. You can look that up. Why? Why? Well, of course, we're asking why, but we already know why, don't we? Because they want us eliminated. That's what this is about. They're trying to take us out. Listen, I'm going to get off here. I'm going to end this here, Charles. We so appreciate you, brother, very much.
I appreciate that.
All right.
I'm trying to do my job the best I can.
You're doing a great job. We really mean it when we say it. I'm not kidding you. We appreciate it. And tell our buddy Jake that we said hi and our prayers are with him.
Will do. I'll be happy to, sir.
All right. Have a great one, man. Thanks, Charles.
You as well.
All right. Bye. All right. So there you have it. Bridges, P Daddies, and everything else, seems to be falling. We're praying and hoping this is all going to the Lord's plan. Well, we know it has to be, right? So anyway, listen, God bless America. God bless you and yours. We're praying for you. Thank you so much for praying for us. So appreciate that. Yesterday was CP Awareness Day or whatever. Appreciate all the prayers for the boss there. Absolutely. We got a lot of things to keep our eyes on or whatever. Love you, Lord. Love you, boss. Thanks for helping me grow the channel. So appreciate everyone. We're almost at 1,000. When we get there, I'm already working on some pretty cool ideas. So let's get there and have some, maybe Lord willing, we'll be able to do some fun things with the Go Live thing or whatever. So peace out.